out to you, Leos, you actually have the Tower, the Temperance, and then you have the Two of Cups. So 3 cards that begin with the letter T. um, uh, okay, so if you Leos are in a relationship or not, maybe it's you socializing with people on the job. Maybe it could be a relationship. Regardless if it is, whether it's a job thing or if it's a relationship thing, whether you have someone in a relationship thing or you don't, you are content with where you are. You're content with the decision that you have made. Some of you Leos may have gotten married to somebody. You feel good about the decision that you've made. Some of you, or maybe if it's okay, maybe it's not a marriage. Maybe it's you've decided to make this person someone that you can take seriously. Maybe it's you Leos deciding to let go of someone. Maybe on the job or in a relationship. You are content with the decision that you've made. The Tower represents the false perception that you've had about certain people or things basically have come to an end. And so there's this new paradigm, there's new circumstances that has essentially come about, and you Leos are adapting to it. And so the Temperance represents you basically being okay with your decisions, because you Leos understand that it's a sound decision that you have made, regardless of whether taking them seriously, letting them go, firing them, whatever the situation is, right? Staying away from people on the job, whatever the situation is, right? You've made a good decision, right? You'll be proud of yourself and you can live with it. You'll feel good about the fact that you made the decision. The Two of Cups, it deals with how you deal with people socially. So like I said, it could represent on a job, could represent a relationship. How you deal with people, you will be okay with things regardless of how it is that regardless of what you chose, because you know that it came from a place of you Leos giving it thought, not just today, but for a certain amount of time, and you actually really thought about this. And so what's going on here with you Leos is that the Sun card and the King of Swords, right? If you feel a certain kind of way, you don't have to feel a survivor's remorse. You actually did the right thing. The Sun card, a lot of you Leos, like I said, you'll feel very good about the decision that you've made. Once again, we already have that card that kind of demonstrates that. The Temperance. The Temperance is like one hand washes the other, 50-50. If you do for me, I'll do for you. Teamwork, right? One cup pours into another cup, then it flips over, they keep pouring themselves, they keep pouring into each other, right? It's a thing where trust is a must. Basically, trust is a must, right? Where it's like we're not weak, but we have decided to be in a relationship. And so now you have the Sun card and the King of Swords. So once again, the Sun card is Leo, so you showed up in your own reading first and foremost. But the Sun card also represents illumination. It represents incorruptibility. A lot of Leos didn't know that, huh? Right? And I've talked about this before, but I don't talk about it much. In alchemy, Leo represents the soul, and the soul is supposed to be incorruptible. So okay, just making sure, because I got a lot going on today. Okay, so the Sun card also represents, like I said, incorruptibility. So the decision that you've made doesn't come from a place of politics, right? Like you making a decision for something that is unearned or unrequited, right? Something that is not deserved is what I'm trying to say, right? So it's like, so it's like, regardless of what decision that you've made, relationship wise or work wise, it actually really is the right decision, though. You know, like I said, trust yourself. It really is the right decision because it has absolutely nothing to do with your own agenda, right? It has everything to do with the fact that what's right is right. This person has shown you, or these people have shown you, they are not right. They do not have integrity. They do not have decency. So the King of Swords here represents, they'll try to make it seem like you're cold. You're cold, right? When that's not actually true at all. It came from a real point in place. It came from a real vantage point. The lovers, right? And the lovers represents, you will feel good about this decision that you've made because it's a real solid, very good decision, regardless of whether it was to get rid of them, keep them around relationship wise, or keep them around friendship wise, job wise, associate with people on a job, not associate with people on a job, branch out, do your own thing. Regardless of what decision you Leos have made when it comes to you and interacting or engaging with other people, you are making the correct decision that you will wake up the next morning and feel proud of. Okay? Because you know that it came from the right place, the correct place. And so now you have the Eight of Swords, excuse me. So the Eight of Swords represents, but they will try to make it seem, Eight of Swords and the Moon card. Right now, or I should say in the future, if it has something to do with other people, which this reading does, and you got rid of them, you decided to fire them, excommunicate them, stop being friends with them, not associate with them on a job, they will try to make you feel not very good about it. They'll try to make you look stupid or try to like make it so that it wasn't a good decision on your part, right? Try to make you second guess yourself. Don't believe the hype. That is not true. You Leos have made the right decision in whatever you have made. I'm telling you right now, you've made the correct decision, because that's another aspect of it too, right? The aspect of things where you make a decision, sometimes people will be like, well, are you going to believe me or are you going to believe your lying eyes? Like, you would have seen it with your own two eyes and you know what's real because you've taken a moment. You didn't rush. You said, okay, let me relax. Let me chill out, engage. Let me see what's going on. And then you gathered enough information. You know that it's the correct thing to do, but then you won't actually do it sometimes, right? Or sometimes when you actually do it, sometimes people will be like, you wrong for that. No, that's them trying to get you to now start second guessing yourself. Now you feel like, did I really do the right thing? When you Leos actually really did do the right thing. You know why? Because again, what let me know that y'all did the right thing was the time y'all took to not jump to conclusions, to write people off or to think certain things about people. You actually really did give them a chance. That's if you're like excommunicating from them, and even if you're keeping them around, you still gave them a chance to show you why they wouldn't be a good significant other, even if you decided to bring them closer to you. So this is just more proof that you Leos are a lot smarter than what it is that people give you credit for. You know what I'm saying? People think Leos is all heart, right? Leos is all heart. And Leos are big hearts, right? Big hearted. But at the same time, Leos are not just all heart. There's a method to what Leos be doing. It's just that a lot of the times, unless you're an astrologer or you study it or you observe it, or you know what I'm saying, something like that, a person is not going to pay attention or see that about Leos. I don't see Leos get angry a lot of the times, to say get upset. And when it is upset, it's methodical. It's very like, in control. It's weird. It's odd. You would think that Leos would completely like lose it. But that's not true at all. Leos and so now you have the King of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups, which represents for you Leos how this is about how you Leos are in a place where, again, that's them trying to get you to be convinced that you do not have good judgment, and you do. So the King of Pentacles, them basically now trying to like, again, send you down a wrong rabbit hole, give you a decoy. And that's another thing too that a lot of times people will do too. They'll try to send you down the wrong rabbit hole because they don't really bring a whole lot of value. They like you, but they don't really bring a whole lot of value. And so they want to keep you distracted by giving you decoys. Sometimes the decoys will include breadcrumbs, right? Breadcrumbing you, ignoring you, are being argumentative, all of this stuff to get you to be distracted, to not see, to not pay attention to the fact that they don't really bring you value like that for real, and you're probably better off getting rid of them. So let's clarify the Moon card. Right. Another aspect of the Moon card too is that there's a lot of like self-reflection that's going on, right? There's a lot of like, are you making the right decisions? When they try to point you down in the wrong direction, they'll, it's like Bugs Bunny, in Looney Tunes, Bugs Bunny. I'm looking for a wabbit. Oh, the wabbit went that way. Like that type of, you know what I mean? Like the distractions, the sending you, the decoy, the sending you down the wrong place, right? You're so frazzled because you're like, how could this person do this? And this person had betrayed you. You trusted this person, and this person has showed you something else contrary to what they first gave, right? And then now it's like you have to deal with them from a new fashion and a new way. And then now they're like, you're not right for that. You know what I'm saying? Even though you actually are. So this is what I mean when I say this is one of those times where people will do that, but you have to stick to your decision internally and be like, nope. And a lot of the times people mistake that, and they mistake that for ego, and that's not ego. That's not ego. You know what I'm saying? Again, things in life mirror each other, but you got to understand that one thing is the genuine article and the other thing is the facsimile, meaning that it looks like a carbon copy, but it's not actually the original real thing. So people will say, oh, you're being caught up with your ego. That's the facsimile. The real thing is you have to be solid and consolidated in your own decision that you actually did do the right thing, and that you know what I'm saying, even past regardless of what people say, because that is one of the biggest tasks to accomplish in this lifetime. You know how many times, you know what I'm saying, people have done that to me? They've betrayed my trust, and I'm like, it's like, you like me? Do we really have to do, like, if we could do this if you want to, but it's like, you like me, but you playing games. And then it's like, oh, well, you that's not true. Or they didn't say that that's not true, but they're trying to send me down all different kind of rabbit holes, pointing me in all kind of different directions. Oh, you bugging, you're delusional. But you're not saying, see, this is what I'm talking about. You're not saying that's not true. Not only are you not saying that's not true, you spent so much time ignoring me. Why is it that the time that you only talk to me, you're sending me down a rabbit hole? You only talk directly to me when you want to use that for a means of provocation. You won't tell me something that I know is there. You're trying to Kyoko Suigetsu me. that Kyoka Suigetsu is not going to work. I can see what you're trying to deflect from. You like me, but you want to run the streets. And the thing is that, once again, but they're in your face, or they're wherever they are, they're talking to you, but what they're talking to you about, they're telling you, oh, you're being delusional. You Leos don't know what you're doing. You're all over the place. You've lost your mind. They will use ridicule. They will use that stuff. You have to not get distracted with the ridicule. You have to look at it and go, nah. See, that there is resided for the people who have reached a certain level spiritually that can actually keep certain aspects of their ego in check. Because ridicule is extremely easy to use, and so many people fall for it because of how their ego is important to them, right? Their sense of self-image that they will put out to the world. Why I say that is because they won't slow down to be like, nah, there's something missing there. Nah, there's something that's not. There's something that I'm noticing. That in on itself is not. This is what I'm trying to tell you, Leos, right? And thank you for sticking around this far if you made it this far. That is not something that you can see. This kind of awareness is not something that you can see with your eyes. It's not something that you can taste or touch or smell or hear, right? It's not, or it's something that you can feel, but it's something, it's a form of, I don't know, like, it's a form of consciousness. I haven't articulated it, but it's a form of consciousness where it's like, you understand, even though this person is pointing me and directing me down this rabbit hole here, there's something that's telling me, because I'm better than this. There's something that's telling me I shouldn't trust this person sending me down this rabbit hole. Because this person has been adversarial with me the majority of the times. Why all of a sudden they just want to help me? What's the catch? The catch is they'll try to send you down the wrong rabbit hole, but they'll act like they're your best friend. Let's clarify the King of Pentacles. Matter of fact, let's clarify the Moon card like I said before. And then let's get out of here. Ace of Wands, Hermit, Wheel of Fortune, King of Swords, Ten of Cups. I will hold the cards up just to show you, to clarify the Moon card. All right? So the Ace of Wands, the Hermit, and the Wheel of Fortune for you Leos represents. And if you keep this level of awareness, you will bounce back, and you won't feel anything about it, because you know you are doing the right thing. Trust yourself, okay? Trust yourself. You're better. But if you don't trust yourself, you will get misguided. Look within yourself for real when it comes to this decision. And then you have the King of Swords and the Ten of Cups. This for you, Leos, puts you in a place where, you know, they will use your mind to play games with you, right? This is why I say that your mind and your heart have to agree, because those things can be played with, and that they have to come to an agreement, because if they don't, if they are at odds with one another, this is where the dysfunction and the self-doubt and spinning you down a rabbit hole, like what these people are trying to do if you're separating from them. And so now the Ten of Cups, or it could be people talking about someone that you wanted to bring closer to you. So you have the Ten of Cups, which represents, once you do that, like I said, you've made the right decision. So that's pretty much it for now. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Trying to get the YouTube channel to 100K. We are 27,075 subscribers. Smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, hit the notification bell, set the notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop my videos. Please, excuse me, peace.